you've seen from him in terms of poise, confidence, and growth, especially given everything that he's been through since leaving Colorado to get to this point?
Fam, proper performance comes from preparation. That's what I'm seeing from him. Like, he's been prepared this whole time. He's been locked in because of his household, because of who his father is, because of what has been instilled in him from a little kid. He's able to handle this pressure today. That's why he's so cool, calm, and collective, and nothing phases him. And I'm just gonna be ready. I got feelings too, though. Like, I want y'all fucking with me, but I'm gonna be ready. And he stepped right in there.
That to me is it, man.
That's tough, man. That's hard to do, knowing that the everything is against you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oof. Got no first team snaps up until, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
You feel me? So,
and, people try to get at him after that win when he was like, oh, man, wait till I get a week of practice.
Carmelo Anthony just said something about Shedeur Sanders that explains why the Browns are making the biggest mistake in franchise history. And what he revealed about Shedeur's ceiling might prove that Cleveland is sitting on a future superstar and doesn't even realize it. But before we break down Melo's most important points about why Shedeur is built different, you need to understand 3 things. First, why Carmelo compared Shedeur's preparation to being raised in a primetime household. Second, what Melo said about the Browns actively sabotaging their own quarterback. And third, the question Melo asked that no one in Cleveland wants to answer. If this is Shedeur's floor, what does his ceiling look like? Because after Carmelo Anthony breaks down Shedeur's performance in his debut NFL season, you're going to realize the Browns have a decision to make that will define their next decade. Let's talk about why one of the greatest scorers in NBA history sees something in Shedeur Sanders that Kevin Stefanski refuses to acknowledge. Carmelo Anthony went on his podcast and talked about Shedeur's 364-yard, 4-touchdown performance against the Titans. And the first thing he said was the most important. Proper performance comes from preparation. That's what separates Shedeur from every other rookie quarterback in the league. Melo explained that Shedeur's been prepared his whole life. Not just for football. For this specific moment. For the pressure. For the scrutiny. For the hate. Everything that would break another 23-year-old quarterback, Shedeur handles with ease because of his household, because of his father, because of what's been instilled in him since he was a kid. That's why nothing phases him. That's why he's cool, calm, and collected in situations that would have other rookies panicking. That's why he can go into a game with only 13 first-team reps and still ball out. And here's where it gets interesting. Carmelo pointed out something that Browns fans need to hear. Shedeur told reporters after his first win that he can't wait to get a full week of practice with the first team. And people tried to clown him for it. They acted like he was making excuses or being arrogant. But Melo asked the perfect question. What's he supposed to say? He's the franchise quarterback. Of course he's going to be confident about what he can do with more preparation time. The fact that people criticized him for that shows they're not evaluating him fairly. They're looking for reasons to tear him down instead of recognizing his talent. Melo went even further. He said if Shedeur gets a whole offseason with the Browns, it's going to be scary times. The team will be completely different. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Think about what Shedeur's already done with almost no preparation. 14 first-team reps before his first start. No off-season program. No training camp with the ones. No chemistry built with the receivers. And he still set the Browns' rookie record for passing yards in a game. Still has the most passing yards by any rookie this season. Still outplayed Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick. Now imagine what he does with an actual offseason. Imagine what he does when he knows the playbook inside and out. Imagine what he does when the offensive line knows his cadence and the receivers know his timing. That's what Carmelo is talking about when he says scary times. But here's what nobody wants to admit.
And I think he's going to benefit from this because you showed that you stayed solid. You showed that you didn't break, you didn't fold. When your organization is against you, the media is against you, people already don't fuck with you because they have their own reason why, because who your daddy is. You got to deal with that.
He's arrogant.
He's arrogant. How the fuck is he arrogant?
Yeah. I'm like,
the man ain't never been in no trouble before.
bro, man.
The man is he loves football, man. He loves the culture of football.
Man, listen.
He grew up in a prime time household.
Yeah. How'd you expect? You expect him to lack confidence?
That's what, no, it's no
Like,
confidence.
Deion
man.
Sanders is my dad,
This is
bro.
what we supposed
There's
to.
no
like,
lack of
this is
confidence.
what we supposed to input into our kids.
Right.
This
Yeah.
type of confidence.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell him to like not. Don't be too confident. Nah, never.
Given everything that he still went through, that Titans game, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think set a record for rookie passing yards this
Yeah,
year.
absolutely.
Set a record for touchdowns scored by a rookie this year. Like, no matter what metric you want to bring up,
The Cleveland Browns don't want Shedeur to succeed. And Carmelo Anthony just called them out for it in the most respectful way possible. Melo said it perfectly. You are the Cleveland Browns. What nerve do you have? The franchise has struggled for 30 years to find a quarterback. They've been through 42 different starters in the last 25 years. They don't even have a logo on their helmet. Just a brown helmet with nothing on it. And now they have a kid who clearly can be the future of the franchise, and they're sabotaging him with play calling. They're freezing him out on the sidelines. They're doing weird stuff that makes no sense for a team that desperately needs quarterback stability. Carmelo was wildly impressed by how Shedeur handled all of it. Being the backup to the backup to the backup. Getting 13 reps with the first team and being expected to win games. Dealing with reporters asking loaded questions trying to bait him into criticizing his coaches. Smiling through all the disrespect. Melo said Shedeur stayed more solid and grounded and level-headed through those first weeks than most veterans would. All the press conferences. All the criticism. All the people who don't respect him because of who his daddy is. Shedeur handled it with professionalism that's rare for someone his age. And it gets worse for the Browns organization. Carmelo pointed out that Kevin Stefanski is scared of Shedeur for all the wrong reasons. He's scared that Shedeur galvanizes the fan base. He's scared that a backup quarterback is stealing headlines. He's scared that the attention Shedeur brings will make it harder to control the narrative. But here's the thing. Nobody likes a backup quarterback who's more popular than the starter. Nobody likes when the fourth-string guy becomes the story. But that's exactly what happened because Shedeur is that good and the Browns refused to give him a chance until injuries forced their hand. Melo made another crucial point. The Browns knew what they promised Dillon Gabriel. They told him he was going to be the next quarterback. They told him he was QB1. They had no intention of bringing Shedeur into the picture as anything more than a late-round flyer. But then Shedeur came in the door and showed them everything they said he couldn't do. He's professional. He comes to work on time. He takes reps with the third team without complaining. He does everything right. And when they finally gave him 13 reps with the first team, he grabbed the rope they gave him to hang himself and instead pulled the whole organization up with his performance. That's leadership. That's mental toughness. That's franchise quarterback material. But the Browns still won't commit to him. And Carmelo explained exactly why that's insane. He compared Shedeur's situation to Cam Ward in Miami. The league allowed Cam Ward to play through mistakes. They allowed him to go through his process and figure things out. They made him the centerpiece and said win, lose, or draw, this is our future. Can Cleveland say that about Shedeur? No. Because they're still worried about Dillon Gabriel's feelings. They're still paying Deshaun Watson. They're still afraid to fully commit to the obvious answer in front of them. Melo asked the question that should terrify Browns fans. If this is Shedeur's floor, what does his ceiling look like? Because right now, with minimal preparation and a coaching staff that's working against him, Shedeur's putting up record-breaking performances. Carmelo said he doesn't know what Shedeur's ceiling is, but he knows the floor. And from here it's only up. Shedeur's not going to get worse. He's only going to get better and better and better. If Shedeur had started the season, if he'd gotten all the reps, if the offensive line had been blocking for him from day one, his numbers would have been unbelievable. That's not speculation. That's fact based on what we've already seen. And here's what makes this even more frustrating. Carmelo pointed out that the Browns are in a situation where they're playing games with Shedeur's career. They're not telling him anything. They're not saying he's QB1 for next season. They're not giving him a chance to prepare like a starter. So Shedeur's going into the offseason not knowing his role. Not knowing if he'll be QB1, QB2, or QB3 again. Not knowing if he should prepare to be a backup or a franchise quarterback. That's no way to develop a young player with his talent. The business side of this is obvious too. Carmelo mentioned that Shedeur is probably one of the top-selling rookie jerseys in the league. He's got people caring about the Cleveland Browns for the first time in years. The Sanders family brings attention and credibility to the franchise. Deion showing up to games puts Cleveland in the national spotlight. The media coverage alone is worth millions in exposure. The marketing opportunities are endless. And on top of all that, Shedeur can actually play. This should be the easiest decision in Browns history. Build around Shedeur. Make him QB1. Give him the off-season program. Let him develop chemistry with the receivers. Design an offense around his strengths. Watch him elevate everyone around him. But instead, Cleveland is doing what Cleveland always does. Overthinking. Second-guessing. Letting politics and egos get in the way of football decisions. Carmelo said something that resonates with anyone who's followed Shedeur's journey. He knows what Shedeur's dealing with and going through. The organization is playing hopscotch with his career. They're double-dutching with his future. They're not giving him straight answers about his role. That's disrespectful to a player who's done everything right. Shedeur never complained when he was fourth string. He never caused problems when Dillon Gabriel got the starting job. He never threw coaches under the bus when they made terrible play calls. He just kept working and stayed ready. And when his number was called, he delivered. 364 yards and 4 total touchdowns against Tennessee. Outplayed the number 1 overall pick head-to-head. Showed poise and accuracy that you can't teach. Made throws that only elite quarterbacks make. The offensive line blocking for Shedeur knows he's special. They want to protect him. They want to win with him. Myles Garrett has been openly supportive on the sidelines, gassing him up and showing leadership. When you have your defensive superstar buying in, that tells you everything about Shedeur's impact on the locker room. Carmelo made the point that if Shedeur finishes strong in these last few games, Cleveland will have no choice but to make him the guy. But he also acknowledged that it's not going to be a football decision. It's going to have to come from upstairs. Somebody in management is going to have to say definitively that Shedeur is the quarterback going forward. The risk-reward on Shedeur was supposed to be low-risk, high-reward. 5th-round pick with first-round talent. But now that he's proven he can play, the Browns are treating it like a difficult decision instead of the obvious layup it should be. This is where Carmelo's NBA experience gives him perspective that football people might miss. He understands what it's like to be young and talented in a dysfunctional organization. He understands what it's like when politics get in the way of putting the best players on the floor. He understands how frustrating it is when you're ready to be the guy but the organization won't fully commit. That's exactly where Shedeur is right now. He's ready. The talent is there. The mental toughness is there. The preparation is there. The leadership is there. Everything you need in a franchise quarterback is already present in Shedeur Sanders. The only question is whether the Browns are smart enough to recognize it and commit to him before it's too late. If you want to see Shedeur Sanders become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and prove Carmelo Anthony right about his unlimited ceiling, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment and tell me, do you think the Browns will actually make Shedeur the starter in 2026, or will they mess this up like they always do? I want to hear your predictions. This is Gridiron Insights and we'll see you in the next one.